We're going to go up a little bit north into Hannibal, Missouri to find out how some of those tasty treats and those taco shells are made at General Mills. Let's get inside the factory floor.
Welcome to the General Mills Hannibal Plant, Missouri Manufacturing Day Tour. Our story begins in 1972 when the facility first took root in America's hometown, Hannibal, Missouri. Originally known for producing Underwood Red Devil ham, its journey has since become a beacon of progress and purpose, marked by significant growth, tripling in size since 2002. Hannibal now stands as one of General Mills' largest sites in North America, with over 1,000 team members. The Hannibal team is a vital contributor to the success of General Mills' North American retail division, producing nearly 12% of its volume each year of General Mills household brands, such as Nature Valley, Betty Crocker, Old El Paso, and we are proudly the sole source producer of Progresso soup. The plant produces more than 372 individual finished good products across 16 production lines, and we manage more than 1,200 individual ingredient and packaging material codes across the site. Beyond its factory walls, the plant has forged impactful partnerships with numerous charitable organizations and environmental protectors. Together, they have worked towards positive change in our communities and in safeguarding our planet, with $250,000 in charitable contributions given each year. The journey of the Hannibal plant is not just a story of industry growth. It's a story of leading with safety, valuing people first, being a force for good in our communities, and fostering a culture of learning and belonging where everyone has a seat at our table. While there isn't enough time for this tour to show you each of our amazing production lines across our site, we are excited to showcase our Old El Paso hard shell taco lines today. So let's get started now.
There are many jobs needed to make the food people love. Operators work with the equipment and make sure settings are correct and make minor adjustments to keep the line running. They use HMI, human machine interfaces, to communicate with equipment. Maintenance mechanics fix equipment when it breaks and perform preventive maintenance to keep machines from breaking. They work with tools and drawings to disassemble and troubleshoot equipment to get to root causes and stop equipment from failing in the future. Team leaders are the connective tissue of a manufacturing plant. They work with everyone on the plant floor to ensure the line operates at top efficiency. Line team members study the overall performance of the line. They use data from downtime and efficiency to make decisions. Engineers have specialties including reliability, system, and project. They focus on long-term maintenance, performance goals, or capital investments. It's a complex process to make taco shells. Hannibal makes both stand-and stuff and round-bottom taco shells. The magic starts with the masa mixers, where 3 basic ingredients, water, corn masa, and salt, are mixed at high speed to create a homogeneous dough. Operators receive recommendations through artificial intelligence for batching ingredients. Dough is dropped into a dough trough, where it is then extruded over to the sheeters. Dough is received by the pre-sheeters from the dough trough. The dough is then sheeted and cut into uncooked tortillas. These corn tortillas are then moved through a conveyor and cooked at high temperatures. The outlet of the ovens produce a corn tortilla that is similar to products you can find in a grocery store. But this tortilla is still flexible due to the water in the shell.
Fun fact, every year the shells department uses 7 square miles of corn. That is equal to a football field worth of corn every 2.5 hours.
Robots place the corn tortilla into molds that create the shape for the hard shell. This is how flat bottom and round bottom shells differ. The flat bottom shells have a flat bottom mold. The fryer removes the remaining moisture to make a hard corn shell. The shells are then collected and nested. The nested shells are then wrapped, followed by a quick heating process to shrink the wrap around the shells. The shrink-wrapped, nested shells are then added to cartons by robots, along with a seasoning and sauce packet if the carton is a dinner kit. Cartons of shells are collected by a case packer and placed into a cardboard case.
Here's another fun fact. The shells department produces enough taco shells for 62 million taco parties. That's enough shells to wrap around the entire earth.
The finished cases are sent to a robotic palletizer. The palletizer is a smart robot that knows pallet patterns and can automatically determine where to put every case. Finished pallets are transported, plastic wrap for safe travel, then shipped out to customers.
And that's it. Let's go to our team and answer some of your questions that you have about General Mills.
And joining us live from Hannibal is General Mills, the team that's putting the good food out on the street and on your plates. And it's so great to see you guys live in the Zoom for Manufacturing Day. Welcome Brian, Stacy, and the team there at Hannibal. You have the shop floor. Go ahead.
Hi, JC Crane here. Just wanted to talk a little bit more about what we offer here at General Mills. As you see, we make Old El Paso hard shells, but we also make all the progressive soup. We make Old El Paso tortillas, Nature Valley and Fiber One bars, and we still have Betty Crocker products here as well. So there's a lot of different opportunities within this plant, whether that's career or just wanting to experience other things. There's a lot of different things happening here at this plant. One of the main things that we offer here are career paths. Everyone here in this room has a career here, and most of us, if not all of us, started right out of high school or very shortly after, myself included. So there's a lot of different opportunities to build yourself up here. We also offer education reimbursement, and we lean heavily in giving our employees options that really fits best for them. So whether it's going back to school or self-learning at your own pace here, if you are interested in developing yourself and making a career, there's definitely opportunities here for you. Some of the other things that we offer is starting here, it's 15 days off from the get-go, along with 11 paid holidays, and there's sick and emergency time. Health benefits are top tier, along with other wellness programs that we offer. And as I mentioned, the education reimbursement is included as well. All right.
Why don't you go ahead around the room and just kind of quickly introduce yourselves and what role you have there at General Mills.
As I mentioned, I'm JC Crane. I am the site's learning leader. I've been out here for 21 years. I started right out of high school, graduated in May, and I was working on the floor in August. I've held a lot of different positions over my time here, whether it was in continuous improvement, team leading, and other leadership roles. And as I mentioned, my most current one, learning and development.
Hey, Odin Glasscock here. I started here when I was about 22 years old. Started in the production floor. I've worked in our hard shell taco department and our seasoning plant. I've worked in our quality department, and most recently I moved on to a warehouse team leader role, so it's been super exciting. I've also used extensively our education reimbursement program over the last few years, and it's honestly been a blessing.
I'm Teresa Christie. I've been here for 31 years. I started right out of high school. I have pretty much worked everywhere in this plant at some point in time during this 31 years, but currently I am a process lead. I've done a lot of like black hat roles, which help train you up to move up in the ladder, and just love working here.
I'm Mark Acosta. I started as a production operator in soup, moved up to sanitation lead for that department after about a year and a half, and now I'm the thermal hold coordinator for soup. I absolutely love working here. It's the best job I've ever had. I started here only about 6 years ago, so not quite right out of high school like some of these other cool people that we got up in here, but It just took me a while to figure out how great it was here. Over to Brian.
Hey, I'm Brian Paul. I'm a senior systems engineer supporting Old El Paso tortillas and Old El Paso seasoning packets. So a bit of a non-traditional engineer myself. My educational background, I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry and then also a graduate degree in chemistry. And so throughout my career, I learned a couple different things that allowed me to, get in this role and then excel and do a lot of cool stuff with data.
Outstanding. It sounds like you guys have a very diverse background. Love the fact that you could start right as a high school student, as you graduate and walk across with your diploma and walk right into General Mills. Tracy, kind of curious, you mentioned you work at just about every location. What was the best location or funnest location for you within General Mills?
I guess we used to do the glass line, and I was a glass line filler operator, and I love that. It was a smaller piece of equipment, and I took a lot of pride in owning that. So I built a lot of my PMs that I wanted to. I changed it over myself. If I had to call maintenance, I would call them, but I always wanted to make sure I understood the equipment from top to bottom. So just really enjoyed that, running that and owning that piece of equipment.
Fantastic. A couple of quick questions came in. One question from North County High School. What are some of the basic skills that you need to get in the door there at General Mills?
You answer that one?
Sure.
To be honest, I when I'm doing interviews, I like to look for a work ethic. We don't want to hire people that are just going to come in here and get turned over real quick. We want to make sure that you're going to be able to come in and want to do the work and show up to work. That's truly all I really ask for.
One thing to add there, one skill that is extremely beneficial is just be curious. Have that type of mindset that we've got some very large pieces of equipment that are pretty complex, and nobody's expected day one to come in and know how everything works, but just being curious enough or being willing to get out there and understand the basics of it and build upon that is an immensely valuable skill.
Yep, that's key, right? If you show up for work on time, you put in a good positive attitude, and you work nicely with everybody on the floor, you're going to go far. We have a quick question from Mr. Redstone's class in Webster Groves, wondering what is the starting pay for an entry-level position there at the plant? Good question.
So I'll take that one. Sorry. Excellent. Entry level pay for an operator is $17.22. It's about $22 for a maintenance mechanic. You get a pay increase at 3 months, and then you get your top out pay at 1 year, which averages to be about $27 an hour for an operator and around $30 an hour for a mechanic.
Wow, that's a pretty good price jump. Nice. What kind of benefits do you offer?
We have medical, dental, vision. We have maternity and paternity leave. So 100% pay for 3 months for new fathers, 100% pay for 5 months for new mothers. We have a great employee assistance program that helps with things like counseling, if you're looking to buy a house, if you're wanting to save for college for your kids. So we have a great EAP program. And then we have a wellness program that also helps people take advantage of, learning how to live a physically healthy life as well.
So great benefits across the board.
Yeah.
We have a couple more questions. Mrs. Bear's class from Ladue is asking, do you have any engineering management positions? And if so, what's their starting pay? Good question.
That's a good question. There's a handful of engineering management positions. In particular, my manager is an engineering manager, being an engineer. But then there's also other opportunities across the plant for somebody with an engineering degree, such as like ops management, even up to the site director or a maintenance manager position. Not too keen on pay. I'd have to lean on Stacy for that one.
Yeah. Yep. So our pay structure for salary positions, it's going to be an average. It's a range based on the position that you're in, as well as your experience and things like that. So that could range anywhere from as low as $60,000 a year up to, you know, $200,000 a year based on role experience and things like that.
Okay. What would you recommend for a student going into engineering, Brian, to look for? And, you know, like, what would you have them focus on? Specific classes or different types of technology?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say very high level. Being a chemist myself, I got on the table for chemical engineering because it's kind of it covers all aspects of engineering. But don't take my word. Do whatever like drives a passion for you, and that you want to see yourself making an impact in the world. And I'll say that second part is no matter what engineering discipline you're going to go into, you're going to have some aspect of programming. So try to get some sort of exposure through like a software development or something along those lines at some point.
Yeah, it's always good to get that extra exposure to coding because we're seeing computers integrated across every machine just about on the production floor. Two more questions that came in. This one's maybe for Stacy. Do you have any employees with disabilities that work there at General Mills?
Yeah, I think we do. We don't always know exactly what those disabilities are. We also have a disability network that we have as a company. So we are allies and advocates for individuals with disabilities so that we can bring that community together. So we do have people that work here with that disabilities. Yes.
Okay, good deal. One quick question came in from Mrs. K's class. What do you do when a machine breaks down? Does production continue?
So it depends, honestly, in what area that you will be working in. If the machine breaks down, of course, as operators, the skill level we talk about, you will learn that as you would come in, and you want to understand your equipment from top to bottom. Certain things, like in thermal, we have what's called a Whalen for downstream. It will bright stack cans off so we can continue to run our processing, and then we refeed that back on. So it determines on what the breakdown is and where it's located in the line.
So you can't always keep it going. I know on your soup line, those turbines that heat the soup and mix the soup, I mean, if they go down, I mean, it stops the production, does it not?
Yes, our retorts, yeah, they're like big pressure cookers, yep.
All right, bonus round before we zoom out of here. What is the favorite product that you love to eat that you produce?
Nature Valley, the sweet and salty bar for me.
I always go with the sour gushers. Like, granted, they're not made here; they're in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. But man, they're so good.
Oh yeah. I like the creamy chicken mushroom soup because gotta love soup.
I like the spicy jambalaya soup. Let's go soup.
I'm talking about boy.
For me, if you're gonna go Hannibal products, it's probably chicken tortilla soup, and if General Mills overall, the Gardettos are my favorite.
Fantastic. And it is soup weather, is it not? Coming into the fall, going into the winter. So stock up on some great soup made by General Mills. Well, thanks, General Mills. We appreciate you zooming in from Hannibal for Manufacturing Day once again. It's great seeing you. We'll look for you down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.